Okay, we're doing Froch on Fighting. We're doing Froch on Fighting. In order to do a good episode of Froch on Fighting, you need one thing. You need Carl Froch, don't you? Don't you? Cobra! Cobra! The show started. We already started the show. Cobra! Cobra! No, we started the show already. Start asking the questions. Well, we're doing the show right now, so we already called it. We already started. We already started. Let's go.
I need to get myself sorted.
No, we're already doing it. We're already shooting it now.
Hang on, let me start about it.
This is a special episode of Froch on Fighting. This is a behind the scenes look at how the champ gets ready for the show. Are you ready?
I'm ready, brother.
Let's do it. All right, Froch on Fighting. Let's go. And action. This will be your best episode. It already probably is strong.
Feels good.
It's already pretty strong.
Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl the Cobra Froch, 4-time world champion, just in case you didn't already know, Hall of Famer, and as you found out this week, I boxed in front of... How many?
80,000.
80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium. You knew already.
I knew already. Well, you said it one or two, 3, 4, 5 times.
I want to introduce my special guest, a Hollywood movie star,
Shia
LaBeouf.
Nice to meet you.
He's a legend.
Hey, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here.
So, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean it when I say it's an honor to be here. I respect you greatly. You're helping our movie. You're helping me get into character for this movie. I haven't spent this kind of intimate time with a warrior like you. Different kind of warriors, soldiers and so on, but not fighters like you. And what we're doing here is we're doing Froch on Fighting with our directors, Johnny and Bjorn behind the camera.
What are we doing
here
in Bedford?
We're training.
And what's the movie?
We're training.
We need to let the fans know.
Okay. We're making a movie. It's called Salvable.
Salvable.
Yep.
Salvation.
Toby Kebbell's in it.
The Savior.
He's playing Sal. I'm playing his brother, his best friend, Little Wayward. It's based loosely. Well, it's based on a script that was written by our boys, but in my mind, it's in my heart. It's based loosely on you and your brother Lee.
Yeah. So there's a guy called Sal, which is short for. It's not Salvable, is it? So Salvatore is the guy's name. Yeah. Shia LaBeouf is playing Vince, and that's his best friend. It's not his brother; it's his best friend. But you've got a likeness between myself and Lee. My brother Lee. Yeah. Because of what I did as a professional boxer.
And who your brother is.
Who my brother is.
As a fighter and as a man and all these things.
So it's quite interesting. It's like all the stars have aligned, and it's a unique sort of set of circumstances, because this script had nothing to do with me or my brother.
When it was initially written.
Yeah, and it's like...
And then celestial mathematics, God, whatever you want to call it, led the director to Toby. Toby was asked, okay, if we're going to do this movie, who do you need? He was a big fan of yours, just as a human. We
actually went to the same school in Newark, which is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
The Grove School in Newark.
That's another strange coincidence. And then, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but then when I started to get to know you, I was watching a lot of Lee, trying to get the Nottingham accent, and then I realized how much Lee has in common with the guy on the page. And then the more you told me about him, the brotherly bond. So I saw how much you and your brother love each other in interviews. I also seen how gregarious your brother is, and the more I get to know you guys, the more I realize it's just, my mother would say, Bichette, meant to be, kismet, that we would meet each other, that you would open up also, that we would fall in line right away, that it's like we have similar sensibilities, we get each other. I think me and your brother have a lot in common. You know, we're both on a lot of similar paths. A lot of fathers in the room. There's a lot.
The similarity between you and my brother
is a lot.
It's very like,
yeah.
I don't know what word you would use, but it's very strange.
Strange, weird, you could say. That's a better word. See, good we have a writer here, because I wouldn't have come up with that word.
What was that word?
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous, there you go. That's why he's here.
That's why he's here.
It's
serendipitous. So.
And it is strange, because your journey on sobriety began, is it getting on for 2 years ago?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
So, what made you decide? I mean, rock bottom made my brother.
For sure,
decide.
same.
You had your bottom out.
Yeah,
you was on the floor.
Ready to blow my brains
out. And then you
decided
to become sober and go down the sobriety, the route of sobriety.
Can you talk
briefly about that?
Yeah.
Please.
So yeah, I was done. Yeah, gun in hand, writing suicide letters.
So you actually had a gun?
Gun on the table. Yeah,
Right, okay.
ready to go. I was out of here. I had gotten an email from the New York Times that basically said your life is fucked. Yeah, that's the subtext, and it was like damn, full blown shame, panic, heart rate, forgot how to breathe, and then the first thought that I had after I caught my breath was I'm not gonna be able to live. So then I ran upstairs and I get my gun and I come downstairs. And then I'm realizing, oh, I gotta check out like properly. I'm just like scatterbrained. I'm writing my mother a suicide note in my phone, and I had been in AA for so long. My dad was in AA when I was younger. I was kind of raised in the rooms. It's where I learned how to play cards, where I learned how to smoke cigarettes. In my life, AA was like daycare. Yeah. So when my dad got out of prison, he was getting sober. He used to bring me around AA all the time. So from when I was 10 years old till now, I've been in AA.
So you understood what it was?
My whole life. And so I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna respond to the New York Times, but I don't really know what to say. And I'm trying to come up with rationalizations and excuses, and I realize I'm shit out of luck and I have no more answers. There's no escape route. Your life is fucked. That's all I keep hearing. And you gotta get the fuck out of here. And so I run upstairs, I get my gun, I come downstairs, I'm writing a suicide note to my mom, and this is where the God thing starts to happen. Early days, I don't know it's God, I don't know what's happening. But because I had been in AA for so long, I didn't hear any of the message, but I had saved a bunch of phone numbers.
Yeah.
And so I'm writing the suicide note, and at the same moment I'm getting ready to finish the suicide note, I get a text message from a dude I hadn't spoken to in years. And it's like, how you doing, kid? And I spend, and I'm thinking, oh, well, now I'm stuck. I got to answer for this guy. And then I start writing like what's going on for me. And I'm saying, I'm fucked, I'm out of here, my life's over. And his response to me was basically, it wasn't like cheerleader or like even coddling. It was like, oh, cool, tell me about it tomorrow. Like he didn't play into my bullshit at all. He didn't play into the drama at all. It was really straight shooter style. He just said, cool, tell me about it tomorrow. And that bought me the night.
And then you're thinking, there's not going to be a tomorrow.
Well, no, but at that point,
at
that point, I figured I was so dead set on getting my message across to one person that it bought me the night. It bought me like 7 hours. Then I woke up in the morning.
So was it just a coincidence that they messaged you at that time?
Yes, that's what I mean. That's where this
that's
coincidence, God, it's like a long way of spelling God, coincidence.
Okay.
I know that now. At the time, I didn't. It was just God doing his 3-card Monty on me, And so...
so did you find God after you found sobriety?
Yeah. I found God through sobriety.
Right, okay. So
it started in sobriety.
And did you complete the 12 steps of sobriety?
Yeah.
So you were sober or becoming sober?
Yeah, by the time I could name what my God was and put a shape on it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because a long time it wasn't God I was praying to, and I'll get to that. But so
a higher power.
Higher power. Some people call it a doorknob. Some people for me it was waves for like a year. It was just waves. Yeah. So like I didn't believe in God. Yeah. I didn't grow up with God. I grew up with hippies and outlaws, and it wasn't no God in my life.
And your dad was a biker.
My dad was a biker. So I wound up, so it bought me the night, right? And the guy says, hey, meet me at Zuma Beach tomorrow. We got a meeting. Malibu, meet me at Tower 20. Meet me at the Tower 20 meeting in Malibu. And so I drive from my house. I'm in Pasadena. I drive. It's like 6 in the morning. I wind up at this beach meeting, and the guy's out there. And I see this guy. I'd seen him on a meeting that night. The guy told me, he's like, all right, cool. Tell me about it tomorrow, but he's like, meet me on this Zoom meeting, because it was in the middle of COVID, so all AA was transferring onto Zoom.
Yeah.
So I want to get on a Zoom meeting, I see this one guy, it's like when you go to jail or something, you can see the big guy that everyone respects. Yeah. Kind of like when you walk into a restaurant or a room, or you're with us, everybody just gives you respect.
Everyone knows the top G just walked in.
All right, okay, so you can call it, okay, so all right, so it's kind of like that, it is that. So I see the top G in that room at AA, right? I'm like, oh, everybody respects this guy, I'm like, oh, well, so I reach out to him, I'm like, hey, bro, what do I do? And he invites me to the same meeting my friend invited me to, and I wind up at this beach meeting, and the guy's like, well, is your life fucked? His first question he asked me, is your life fucked? Yes.
Because that was a headline, isn't it?
He knew, I knew, we just knew. But also that's how these steps work. He's like, so is your life fucked? Because if a guy's life, if he doesn't know his life is fucked, he's not going to do AA. He's not going to do 12 steps, he's not going to do nothing.
It needs to be on the floor.
He needs to know it's fucking done. So he's like, is your life fucked? I'm like, yeah, okay. He goes, do you have a problem with liquor and alcohol? Do you have a drug of choice? I'm like, I have a drug of no choice. Anything that makes me feel relief, I'm in, you know. Sex, money, power, liquor, weed, anything.
And if it
job,
empowers you and everything makes you forget about reality.
Anything, not even forget about reality, but anything that builds my ego.
Right, so it's feeding the ego.
Feeding the ego. And because I was in Hollywood for so long, it's really easy to get totally lost in ego and think that you're managing everything, you're running the show.
Do you think becoming a superstar so young and becoming so big and being the Hollywood name, which you was, Transformers,
fuck me.
Did that fuck with your mind?
Not just that, but like the fact that I went from being broke, really poor, my parents having nothing, to becoming a millionaire real quick.
How to cope with that?
Yeah, well, you start thinking, well, I got the answers. How are you gonna tell me I don't know I come from the bottom, and now I bought my mom a house. I'm 15 years old. How are you gonna tell me shit? I'm not gonna hear nothing you have to say to me. Like, I'm feeding my family. I'm not even 18 yet. There's nothing you can say to me. Not a teacher. I had nobody to look up to. There was nobody above me for a long time.
No father figure. No positive male.
My dad wasn't my buddy. It was different.
Right.
Yeah. No father figure. No. Father figure. And I didn't really respect directors. You know, I've always been pretty notorious for like not being respectful to anybody, to authority figures. Yeah. So, first question: is your life fucked? Yeah. Do you have a problem with drugs and alcohol? I'm like, yeah, I got a problem with not just drugs and alcohol. I got a problem with anything that makes me feel good. Anything that brings me relief, I can't do in moderation. Nothing.
It's always excessive.
Everything. And then he goes, okay, cool. I want you to look at my cell phone real quick. Because I had heard his story on the meeting the night before, and his story was crazy, you know, crazier than mine. And he's like, in that meeting, he was basically leading the meeting, and he's basically telling everybody like how he went from smoking crack and thinking he was a dragon to like really having a life, substantial, fulfilled life, family, love in his life.
Through sobriety.
Through sobriety. And so I get to the beach, and he pulls out his phone. He's like, all right, cool. I want you to look through some of my photos. And I'm looking through his photos, and he's just smiling in every photo. And he goes, now, do you think that I took all those pictures for you? Nah, no way. So you know that this thing that's going on between me and you isn't some grand conspiracy, right? I'm like, yeah, it can't be. We didn't even know each other yesterday, and these photos are from months ago. This is 3 or 4 years of smiles. Yeah. So I know he's not bullshitting me. He goes, did you believe my story last night about me being a crackhead? I was like, I think so. And he had a friend there at that meeting who had been his roll dog for a long 20, 25 years. And he calls that guy over and he goes, hey, did what I say last night really happened? The guy co-signed it. And then he walks away, and it's just me and that guy. And he goes, so you believe what I told you last night? I said, yeah. He goes, so that's the second step, came to believe that this power greater than yourself could restore you to sanity, which at that time is AA, you know?
And first step is you're powerless
over alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever it is, and your life is unmanageable. Yeah. Second step is came to believe that there's some power greater than yourself. Yeah. God, higher power, Buddha, Mithra, whatever it is.
So early on in the 12 steps of sobriety.
It's right away.
My brother's 8 years into the journey. Yeah. And that second one is a powerful, it's having faith. Yeah.
It's having belief. Faith comes after. Right, so you can't have faith without belief first. Belief is where it starts. Yeah. And belief starts when you're out of answers, right? Because you're willing to look at life differently because you know that your answers aren't answers. Yeah. Which is what that first step is. Your answers are shit.
So you're searching for an alternative, something that's going to work for you.
Yes, and he's showing me smiles. And I'm thinking, I don't even know how to smile anymore. Yeah. So then he goes, all right, well, what's your relationship with God? I'm like, I have no relationship with God at all. None, zero. He's like, cool, come down to the beach with me real quick. And I walk down to the beach, and we had surfboards in our hand because we were going to go surfing or something like that. We're waxing these boards, we're winding up at the beach. He's like, all right, cool, hit your knees. And I grew up with a homophobic father. I'm not getting on my knees around no man. Even if you ask me to get on my knees, I'd rather get punched than get on my knees at this point in my life. And so he gets on his knees first, and I think, okay, well, then it's not what I thought. All right. And he gets on his knees, and then I get on my knees, and we're like waxing these boards. We're looking out at the ocean, and he's like, all right, well, do me a favor. Stop those waves over there. I'm like, what do you mean, stop those waves? What do you mean, like, what? I get it. I get what you're trying to do, and I'm like trying to play a couple steps ahead of him. And he's like, look, this isn't going to work if you do that, right? AA is for a bunch of stubborn motherfuckers who do a bunch of shit they don't believe in so that their life gets better. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you to do a lot of things that you think are bullshit, but I don't care if you think they're real or not. I just need you to do them. Right. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think. All I care about is what you do.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, bet. And I like the energy, you know, it's kind of, I need structure. I won't listen to anything else. So he's like, so stop those waves. And I go, you want me to like yell at them? Okay, cool. So I start yelling at the waves, stop waves. And at first I'm kind of giggling about it. And he's like, no, louder, my boy, louder. And he's calling me my boy. So now I got this already in the first 20 minutes of knowing this guy, we got like something that feels like it's going to work. Yeah. I don't know how much it's gonna work, but I'm feeling like I like his energy. He says, stop, boys. I say, stop, waves. And I'm yelling at the waves, and the waves obviously aren't stopping. And now I'm yelling at the waves, and I'm yelling and yelling. And this is a day out of getting ready to blow my brains out, so I'm having like an emotional reaction. But I'm also a manipulator. I'm an actor. So now I'm like trying to perform for this guy. You know, so I'm crying and I'm yelling at these waves, but he's like, don't perform. Really try to stop him. So then the tears go away, and now I'm done manipulating, and I'm like, it's not working. You know, they're not stopping. He goes, exactly. So that's a power greater than yourself. So just pray to the waves for a while until God shows up for you. So that's what I do for the next year. I go through the rest of the steps, and instead of like, dear God, I'm just saying, dear waves. Dear waves, get me through today sober. Dear waves, help me keep this gun out of my mouth. Dear waves, help me get from point A to point B. Anyway, we finished that meeting. I'm through the first 3 steps in my first meeting, right? Right away, boom. Yeah. And then I'm driving behind him, and him and his friend get in his car, and we're driving to go get breakfast burritos. And I remember seeing him and his friend that he had known for 25 years. They're like silhouetted in this Land Rover he's got, and I'm in my truck, and I'm driving behind him, and I see their silhouettes laughing the whole way to breakfast burritos. It felt like a path, right? So I'm driving behind them, we're going, and they're just laughing the whole ride. Ha 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 ha. I'm seeing their faces, and I'm thinking, maybe this will teach me how to laugh, smile. The waves thing kind of weird, but I'm following it, and the first thing that attracted me was the laughter. It's not a glum lot. These aren't boring dudes who are bitching about their sobriety and bitching about life. They're enjoying
smiling
life. Yeah, they're smiling. So then, so from that point to this point, a lot's happened, but that's how it started.
And it wasn't so much believing in a God.
No, just anything more than me, anything more than my answer.
So the waves for you was your focus.
Was God first.
And that got you started on the journey.
Yeah, it opened me up.
And that journey went on from the next day after you was going to blow your brains out.
Yeah.
It sounds ridiculous.
Yeah.
It sounds
next day.
hostile, but you've got a gun.
Yeah.
And was you prepared to? Was you in a position where you?
Probably not. I think I'm too pussy to kill myself.
You think really?
Yeah, that's a problem though.
I'm not so sure. We had a good sparring session today.
No, I mean it. I
won't call you a pussy.
I mean, I don't know if that's the right word, but
especially with the new look, the new big. You put some timber on.
All right, slow down. But I think no, I was stuck. I was stuck in this situation where it's I'm too scared to kill myself. But life is too scary to live. So I'm at this no man's land.
Yeah, that's amazing. That journey from kind of asking the waves that aren't going to stop, but you've got to try and have faith in something. To then driving and following him, and then so that was then a year. Yeah. So then. After a year, then my journey kept going. After a year. And how many times did you attend these meetings?
Every day.
So it was every day?
Yeah, every day.
Every day for a year?
Every day for a year.
See, that's intense.
But also I was blessed because it was during COVID, so when I was too lazy to drive, I could just jump on Zoom. It was always on Zoom, 6 o'clock every night. 40 dudes on Zoom doing an AA meeting.
All sharing.
Running the program. And so then a year in.
Well, you say 40 dudes, how does that work? Do you all get 10 minutes to say your bit?
Yeah, everybody shares. So no matter if you want to share or not, you can't hide. And the way Zoom.
The meetings my brother goes to.
Yeah.
You don't have to share if you don't want to.
These
and a lot of people turn up for the first, second, third time.
Yeah.
And they won't share.
Yeah.
And you know that once they tell their story.
Yeah, they're free.
Their problem.
That's the thing.
That's the start of becoming free. Was you happy to share already? Because you already spoke.
No, I didn't want to share nothing.
You didn't speak.
I was in shame. I couldn't.
How long until you spoke?
Right, day one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they force you to.
Right, okay, they force you to.
And at first I was probably talking bullshit for a long time. Probably 4 months of bullshit.
You're getting your bullshit off your chest.
Yeah, but it's not even real. But I don't even know it's real, right?
Right,
this is the thing about alcoholism is you can't see life for what it is. Your perspective is all fucked up.
Right, okay.
You know, you're victimizing all the time. You're bitching about everything. You're not taking accountability. You're pointing the finger at everybody else. It's her fault. It's his fault. It's this fault. So you can't even really see reality.
How long did it take to do the 12 steps from step 1 to step 12? Which we're not going to go through all them steps.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Seen first and second.
Yeah.
How long did you say, right, I've done 12 steps now. I feel like I'm now sober. Because you're over 2 years sober.
Well, this is a tricky thing, right?
At what point did you say, right, I've cracked this, I'm sober?
Well, you never do. Never. It's a daily reprieve.
Always.
Yeah, always. You wake up every day. I wake up, I'm an alcoholic every day.
My brother says that same.
Yeah, every day.
I was kind of testing you there.
Yeah, if you
so
ever.
You're always in recovery?
Oh, every day. If you
Do you
ever,
think you'll ever not be in recovery?
no, I have to.
You have to do.
And it's not even I have to, it's I want to.
You want to.
Yeah, yeah. I find fulfillment in it now. I find my purpose in it now. But yeah, so the whole step process probably took me 8 months before I was sponsoring other people.
Yeah.
And then you really start feeling relief when you're helping other people out. That's where it feels like drugs.
Yeah.
Because like an addict's never going to want to stop doing drugs, ever.
No.
A guy like me is never going to stop wanting to get high.
Yeah.
You got to find a new high. And that new high that's found in AA is service.
Yeah.
That's where you feel it.
Giving back.
Yeah, that's where you start feeling high. That's where you're walking around your parking lot, you know, like you used to talk to your plug, all hopped up and excited, but now you're talking to a dude who's like getting his life back, and you're just as excited.
Yeah.
And you get off the phone and you have the same kind of like, your heart rate's going, and you're like, you're pumped up about life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're getting high still.
And now, since becoming sober,
Yeah,
and even though you're sober, still in recovery,
yeah,
you've got an English wife.
yeah, yeah.
You've got a 2-year-old daughter.
Yep.
When is she 3?
Yeah, in a month.
Because it's quite a big difference.
Well,
between
she's 2 in 1 month.
Oh, 2 and 1
Yeah,
month.
2 in 1 month.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So she's still in that sort of baby age. She's walking around, she's saying a few words, she's giving you a smile, big smiles and hugs, and she knows who daddy is.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're with your wife.
With my wife.
Sorry, what's her name? Just
Mia.
Mia. So
Yeah.
you're with Mia, and just for the viewers that don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And your daughter's name?
Isabel.
Isabel.
Yeah.
And they're obviously your world now.
Whole world.
And that's all you're concentrating on or interested in, providing for them and making sure their life's nice.
It's not true for me to say they're my whole world. They're a huge part of my
Massive
world.
part of
Yeah,
the world.
massive part of my world. Yeah.
They're the most important part.
It's not healthy if they're your whole world.
Okay, they're the most important part of your journey.
For sure.
of
Yeah,
your
for
journey.
sure. For sure.
And your journey now is, so we'll move on from sobriety, and,
Yeah.
and well done for that. And I feel that. And
Yeah.
my brother, as you know,
Yeah.
you spoke to my brother actually, Lee, earlier.
Yeah.
And I want to have this chat with my brother as well, actually, but I'm just going to save it because I just want to.
Yeah, maybe there's another one to do with him.
Yeah, maybe we'll sit and have a
Yeah.
chat with him.
Yeah.
But where we are now on this film, Salvable,
Yeah.
and when I picture you, Shia LaBeouf, I've got this young kid on Transformers,
Yeah.
this big Hollywood star.
Yeah.
And then when I first met you, I've obviously seen you before I arrived here
Yeah.
in Bedford and then in New York.
Yeah.
But now you look like a unit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You look like Russell Crowe
Yeah. Yeah.
from
Well,
the Gladiators. And we've had
yeah.
a sparring session.
Yeah.
And we're going to clip some of these sparring sessions in.
All right.
If the
Put
if
the
the-
good
if-
bits in. Put the good bits in.
How do you do, Carl?
if the producers.
What
But
was the best-
Yeah. How'd I do,
how
Cole?
did you do?
How'd I do?
You did pretty good, mate.
He's
What-
full of shit.
how did you react?
I actually thought, if I'm honest,
Yeah. Go.
looking at you in Transformers and looking at you like your baby face.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. You've probably got this image. I don't actually. That's a question for you.
Yeah.
That image of being a childhood superstar and like a young kid, like
Yeah.
Macaulay Culkin got it from Home Alone, and he could never shake that.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you had a stigma attached to your image or you as an actor?
Yeah.
that,
That's
that
see,
restricted
that's
you
a
from
good.
doing bigger roles.
Maybe not even that, but it probably motivated certain behaviors that I kind of looked up to. I didn't look up to like the Tom Cruises
No.
and the Tom Hanks. I looked up to like the Sean Penns and the Mel Gibsons.
Yeah.
They were a little bit crooked,
Yeah.
a little bit bent. And because I had grown up in AA so long, I felt like I got to earn my seat. And so the reason I couldn't get sober young enough is because I felt like my story wasn't enough.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just going to raise my hand and I had a DUI. I felt like, oh, that's not like his story.
Yeah.
So my ego was still involved in it. So I wound up doing damage. Sometimes my agency was involved in it. I would think, oh, it's pretty cool. You know, maybe my dad will respect me now.
Yeah.
It's like a whole weird twisted thing where, like, to earn my dad's stripes, it wasn't gonna be like I make $1 million and now he respects me as a
Yeah.
man. It was like, oh, you got to go to jail, or you got to like go to war, or you got to like the big thing is, and I still question is like, when does a boy become a man? You know, Americans, British people, we don't have a puberty ceremony.
Yeah.
It's not like you go off into the jungle and you come back with a lion's head and you're a man now. We don't have anything like that.
No scars on your face. No,
Yeah.
No ritual.
Yeah, there's no ritual.
No.
So
I know what you mean. You have to grow up, sort of discover it on your own.
Yeah.
There's no positive male role model, which
Right.
I kind of never really had because my parents split when I was very young, and I had a relationship with my dad.
how old were you?
But I was 6
when they
years
split?
old when we
6.
got split up. Yeah.
So Lee was
Lee's
10.
Lee's 2 years older than me. He was only 8.
8.
Yeah.
And
And my
then
younger
you-
brother was a baby.
And you went with Pops. and
Yeah, I
he
stayed
went-
with my dad because of the schooling. He went off with my younger brother and lived with my mum. Not too far away. Still saw
You
them.
were separated.
Yeah, we're separated.
And he went with your sister.
No, I've got no sisters. I've got 2 brothers.
And
Older
they
brother
went off.
And a younger brother, yeah.
And
So
you
I
were
was
alone
kind of-
with your
I
dad.
spent a lot of time with my dad at home, yeah. And it just, from a young age, I learned to become quite self-sufficient from a very young age. And I think that kind of For me, I wouldn't change anything because it made me who I am. And
Yeah.
I ended up becoming world champion. I don't know if you know, but I once fought in front of 80. Yeah, you know.
How many people were there?
You know that, don't you? 80.
How many people were in the
80,000.
80,000? Okay.
You know that one, don't you?
I do. I know that one.
Yeah, we don't need to go there, do
No,
we?
we just once.
So
once.
you was in, moving on from that, which
Yeah.
is a big number, National Stadium. But moving on from that, so I can remember you in a film,
Yeah.
Fury,
Yeah.
and you was in a tank,
Yeah.
and you really became the character,
Yeah.
and you did some, for me, very intense things. Like you'd think I do intense from my training and my sparring and fighting with a broken hand, which we've talked about, and
Yeah.
broken ribs, etc. But you was in this tank on
Yeah.
this film Fury, and if you've
Yeah.
not seen it, I strongly recommend that people go and watch this film Fury because you became the character. You lived in the tank. Tell us what you did to yourself to become,
Well,
to take the part serious.
Yeah. I always thought acting was kind of soft.
Yeah.
That's probably what motivated a lot of my process, right? It's like,
Yeah.
my dad always thought, like, acting is like, that's not a real job. You know, he always in my head, deeply homophobic man, always telling me, like, acting is that's for clowns. Like, it's not a real job. He was a soldier. His father was a soldier. His father was a soldier. So I come from this lineage of like fighting men. And then I wind up on a set, put makeup on my face. It felt like really feminized. The job felt like really like emasculated. So then the way that I would go about my process was like, I was trying to fight that. And so I remember being in a trailer one time, Brad Pitt's there, and like and God bless him, that's a good dude, and I love him. But I remember sitting in a room with him, and Bernthal was there, and Pena, and they're like putting makeup on their face, and I had just spent like a year in the National Guard prepping for the movie. Like I got fired from a play in New York that I was doing with Alec Baldwin. God bless him too, that's a good dude, who's going through a lot, God bless him, that's a good man. He's going through hellfire right now. Yeah, bless him. I love that dude. But we went through our struggles, me and him, where we didn't see eye to eye while we were making that movie, making that play, and I wound up getting fired. And the day I got fired, I wind up getting a text message from my agent, like, Brad Pitt wants to talk to you. And I'm like, what? I don't know who Brad Pitt is. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him. And he writes like, hey, you want to do this war movie with me? And I'm like, I just got fired. I'm like heartbroken. I've been rehearsing this play for 2 years. And when they take a play from you, it's like, I mean, I know now, I have a kid, so it's not the same, but it felt like something, at that time, it felt like somebody had taken my kid from me, you know? And so I was really heartbroken. He writes me this message like, hey, you want to do this war film? And I write back like, what war film? And he gives me the basic premise, and the next day, I wind up joining the National Guard, and I'm in the National Guard in the Armory Division in Iowa for like a long time. You know?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
And you did that to
About
prep
8
for
months.
the movie?
Yeah, prep for the movie.
That's like, for me, that's intense.
Yeah, it was intense. And
you was in this tank, because there's lots of scenes in the tank.
Yeah, that's why I was with the armorers.
And tell us about the tank. What happened in the tank?
A whole bunch happened
What
in the
did
tank.
you do to make yourself
So I wanted
feel
to
in
so
character?
after that prep, we went through like a 2-week training, like a boot camp, like for actors in England. And then we're in this makeup trailer getting ready to do this movie. And I just made friends with all these armorers. And we're like putting fake mud on our faces. And it just feels like, oh man, this can't be it, you know? So I see Brad Pitt in the mirror and I'm thinking like, how do I motivate my boys? You know, like, how do we make this more? How do we get further? And I wind up like cutting my face, I'm rubbing blood on my face, and I'm kissing Brad, and I'm spitting blood.
How did you cut your face?
I had a knife. So I'm sitting in the
So
mirror.
you just took a knife out your pocket?
Yeah, I took a
you
knife
looked
out
in the mirror?
Well, I'm looking at him, like I'm looking at Brad, because the way it works on a movie set is it's all top down, right? So everything is dictated by number one on the call sheet. So if Brad Pitt is about that life, then we all have to be about that life. So I thought, you know, I didn't want to see my we called him Top, but I didn't want to see Top putting fake mud on his face. I wanted more, and we'd already fallen in love at that point, like really bonded. And so I'm like rubbing blood on my face, partly for the character, but also partly like motivate the troops, you know. And then I went and kissed him on the face, and that wasn't enough. They're kind of laughing at me like I'm an idiot, and they think it's like ridiculous. And then I went to the grip department. I got some pliers, and I ripped my tooth out and spit blood all over the mirror. And at that point, everybody's like, "Oh, this is fucking crazy." And if I wasn't around a bunch of people who loved me, I might have gotten fired, you know. But what it did to us was it
brought you together.
Yeah, it was like it's game time.
You skim over that really quickly, but you've got a pair of grips. You've taken your tooth and you pulled one of your bottom teeth.
Yeah, this one.
So that's a fake tooth,
fake
and
tooth.
that's replaced.
Yeah.
And why did you go for that tooth specifically?
Well, because we had been spending a lot of time in the tank, and I was the gunner. And in a Sherman tank, they have a spot in the Sherman tank by the driver's column where you put all your manuals. and it has like a real rough edge on it. It's all made out of metal.
Like a ridge.
A ridge, yeah. And I'm thinking, because Pena was driving us around and it was like really like bumpy. We were supposed to be in that tank for 3 years, all the way from Africa to Germany, you know, fighting World War II. And I'm thinking, there's no way my face is untouched. Because every time we're just driving around a parking lot, and every time he stops the thing, I'm leaning forward, and I wound up hitting my head on the thing a couple of times, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if this is happening just for this 2-week period, and I'm in here for 3 years, something's up, something's happening right here. So I knew going into makeup, I'd already told him, something's got to happen here. We got to change this. It's got to change shape, something.
So that's how much you have to become that character for you to feel.
I mean, you don't have to, but
you don't have to, but for you to feel you're playing your role properly.
And there was all this loaded history of my father and his father and his father. Like my grandfather was awarded the Le Cartier in France by de Gaulle.
Right. Okay.
He's a World War II hero, like your grandfather. So
Polish.
yeah, so like two sides of the same operation. That's D-Day, you know. Your grandfather was on this side. My grandfather was coming
he was
up.
part of the Allies.
Right.
My granddad had a Nazi outfit on because they were surrounded by
Polish man, Nazi outfit on, not firing his gun.
Not firing his gun.
And my grandfather's running up the hill.
That's crazy.
Crazy. That's another like.
That's the stars aligned.
Yeah.
So you've become this character in this tank. You smack your tooth on, you've imaginarily smacked your tooth. You've actually pulled it out. You've scratched your face. To me and to probably a lot of listeners and viewers, they're going to think that's fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, but a lot of normal people would think like getting in a ring with a person and going 12 rounds is completely crazy.
But you take your role as an actor serious.
Yeah.
And for you to take the role that you've taken, that I've ended up wind up training you. You've not got a boxing scene or a fight scene.
No.
You want to understand the fighter's mentality.
And I want to get close to Toby.
So Toby Cabell is playing. He's playing Sal.
Yeah.
You're playing Vince.
Yeah.
His best friend.
And I got to go up in size.
And you've stacked up. You've followed a timber on.
Yeah.
And it's good solid weight. And you've done that to become.
To be able to take money from fighters.
Because if you're going to stand there and take money off fighters, they've got to look at you and respect you.
Correct.
And you don't want to be like this skinny dweeb.
You can't.
You want to look like this.
Yeah, you can't. Tank. Yeah. So that thing in the makeup happens. The makeup trailer happens. And then I never go in the makeup trailer again. And none of the other boys do either. And that does something. When your actors on a movie are not going into the makeup trailer anymore, it changes the whole feelings on the set.
So you was becoming dirty and grimy and looking like a real soldier.
Yeah, that usually like
living in the tank.
That's the thing.
When you say living in the tank.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Did you ever go out the tank to go and eat? And
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
but like we would sleep in there.
So sleeping in.
Yeah, we sleep in there and we'd shit and piss in there and we would like hang out in there.
What, like a bucket?
Yeah, you little ammo bucket.
Yeah, my brother does that in the back of his van.
Okay, well that's his own business. Maybe yeah, all right. Well that's I don't know what he's doing, but
he's trying to wind someone up and upset them.
No, well it's construction.
It's construction.
Yeah, it's construction. So from that point on, we never go back in the makeup trailer, and the crew knows that. Now it's affected the crew, and the crew sees us in the tank all the time, and it bonded us, and it just
So that gave you that togetherness. That's why the film works, and you could see that there was camaraderie there.
Yeah, I don't. Me personally, I don't think I could act those things.
No,
they're either happening or they're not.
You're not acting them.
Yeah.
And now we're fast forwarding to where we are now. You're playing Vince, and me and you. I've been doing a bit of sparring. You don't need to, but you kind of wanted to.
Yeah, and because of him.
And we've only done body sparring, not because you didn't want to do head sparring, but because I didn't want to get my new straight, beautiful side profile nose.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
I was going to go for the Richard Gere with the grey hair.
No, this is better what you got.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I thought so as well. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But you're quite a tough motherfucker.
No,
if I do say so.
No, dude.
No. You're taking shots off the 4-time world champ Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
And you're laughing. No, but you're laughing about it.
I don't know what that is. It's like because it made me feel like a little boy.
So I'm hitting you with shots. You're throwing shots. I'm slipping, throwing uppercuts around your ribs.
Yeah.
And you're just like you're giggling.
Yeah, because it's like a little boy dream to be in the ring with a champion like that, right? So there's that part. But there's also the part where like when you get hit and all your rationale just collapses and you want to run but you can't run and it's a confluence of events, but yeah, and probably really terrified.
Have you ever been in that position before in your life?
I've never been hit like that.
Yeah,
I've never been hit like that.
I love new experiences.
Same.
Good or bad, they're just there, aren't they?
Yeah, you need them.
Like life
it's
adventure, character building.
Boys need adventure.
Absolutely, coming through adversity. So you're enjoying it. You're enjoying the sparring.
Yes.
Toby Cabell is playing Sal, lead role. Is your boy in the film? How do you think he's doing? How are you?
He's doing great. Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard job, and I think us doing that motivates his process and like prep feeds each other. So if you see another guy on the other side of the fence going really hard, then you have to go hard. And then if you see him going hard,
Because if I'd have turned up here this week and just sparred Toby,
Yeah.
and he's under the cosh and he's getting bruises and bangs, and I hit him with a body shot.
Yes.
And I done him, didn't I?
Yes.
I wasn't looking to do him, but I got him with I mean, before that, he hit me with a little bit of a body shot.
Yes.
He tickled the old rib cage of the cobra.
Yes, he did.
And the cobra saw red. I'm referring to myself as a person.
Cobra saw red.
You're not supposed to laugh.
Cobra saw
So
red.
I thought, I've got to get you back.
Yeah,
so I got him back, you saw it.
Yeah.
And then you didn't want any part of it, so
No,
you stayed
no,
out.
I don't want no part
You
of it.
stayed out.
I had my day.
Yeah, you've had
Yeah.
your day.
Yeah.
And it was good. And then Toby, he stuck with it, and he
Yeah.
came back the next day and he carried on. So
Yeah.
he's becoming a boxer in this film, and I find that fascinating because to me, you're actors.
Yeah.
You're educated, you're articulate, you've got high IQs. I can tell by when I speak to you.
Yeah.
But actually, you want to get in there and take punishment. You don't need to box, but you're jumping in there because you want to feel what Sal has to go through.
Well, I want
as an
Toby to see me do it, and I want Toby to know I'm seeing him do it.
so he don't feel like he's on his own as well.
Well, so that when we get in the scenes where we gotta love each other,
Yeah.
and I'm looking in his eye, and he knows that we don't have to fake the experience.
Yeah.
We went through it together.
You know, yeah.
You're a bit like a shark, right? If you go swimming with a shark with your best friend, it bonds you. You know, if fighting is like other than sex and murdering somebody, the most intimate thing you could do with another man is to fight.
Let's have a fight, yeah.
And so it's a mad intimate experience, and watching him do that, and him watching me do that, and being around for it is a bonding experience.
Yeah, this has been for me. This has been such an eye-opening week. It's been awesome
Yeah, same.
to work with the producers and the directors,
Yeah,
and kind of have a new experience into like the film industry.
yeah.
And I might even get a little cameo role in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I'm not really too interested in playing a part. I'm prepared to have a little go. We'll
You
see.
will. It's just
We'll
done.
wait and see how that works out. But
Yeah.
for me to have my part in getting Sal.
But even as a tech advisor, like that's a whole nother adventure.
well, I want
for
these
you.
fight scenes to look authentic. I want
Right.
people to believe them.
Right.
Make them look real.
Right.
And I'm excited for it, and I think this film's going to be awesome. And
Yeah.
I'm not being biased, just from where I've been.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be special.
I think so too.
So yeah, I'm here for a week here in
Yeah.
New York,
Yeah.
in Bedford, New York. You're also going to come to Nottingham.
Yep.
You've got to learn how
Week
to speak
after
like
next.
someone from Nottingham.
Yeah, hang out with your brother.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dad took shopping car,
All that.
chips and gravy. No, that's further up north. Ignore everything
Is
I
it?
just said.
Chips
That's-
and grits too far. What's
Yeah.
that's like? That's
too
like
far,
Cockney.
No, that's like more Yorkshire.
Yeah.
A bit further up. No, Cockney's down south.
Oh, okay.
Couple of fucking tequilas, lad.
Yeah, that's south.
Yeah, it's down south.
And Liverpool is north. Liverpool's
Liverpool
north.
is like northwest, but Liverpool's totally different. I forget about Liverpool.
Yeah, toward
It's a
Ireland.
different, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, towards that way.
Yeah,
But
there's
no,
a huge
so
learning curve.
Nottingham, you've already started thinking about the Nottingham accent.
Yeah.
And you're picking up some of my words.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not a house,
But you're more
it's a
traveled.
house.
You're more traveled than my guy.
I am a little bit more
Yeah,
travelled.
yeah,
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 I've
More
spent a
culture.
lot of time in London. I've been
Well, you're a four-time
around
world
the
champion. You've been around the
four-time
world.
world
You fought in front of 80,000.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of
Yeah.
Famer. So,
Yeah, so all that.
so some
So
of
you're
your
going to
accent's
spend
gone.
some time. That's where I was getting. You're going to spend some time with my brother
Froch.
Lee
Yeah.
on the renovator,
Yeah, the
on the
renovator.
building site,
Yeah.
and you just want to get stuck in. I've got to get some footage of you, just
Yeah.
like helping.
I'm down with that.
Like Bricky's labourer
All
for a
that.
couple of days.
But the
Mix up
inside
that
jokes, the speed,
Yeah.
the sensibilities,
Like the
all of
banter
it.
between
All
you,
of it.
yeah.
Yeah. Watching him with other dudes.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Okay, Shia LaBeouf,
I'm ready.
the Hollywood superstar,
Yeah.
sitting here with a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Would you say we're on like level or
No.
You're-
No. You're way.
Nah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
you've got the master suite though. How did that work?
Well, you put me in there.
Yeah, but I got here first.
Yeah, but you put me in there.
I did. See, that's respect.
No, you because we were fighting over it. Maybe it's a British thing, but I didn't want to be up there. I wanted to be back there.
No, I made sure you got the suite.
No, I
'cause
think what you
deserve
did was you went up there and you saw that it's two separate beds, and you were like, "These beds suck. It's a big room, but these beds suck, so you're gonna sleep there." So I know what you did.
And
but
there's no
okay.
curtains in
Let's
there.
call it
I
respect.
need
And there's no
curtains.
curtains. Yeah, there's no curtains. Yeah.
We sorted it out anyway. Didn't we?
Yeah, we figured it out.
So what I'm going to do is, if you don't mind,
Okay.
I've got 12 quick fire questions,
Okay.
and I'm going to ask you. And you've not seen these,
No.
so just whatever comes to your head first.
Okay.
Let's have a look. What we got for you? First round. What is your favourite ever movie?
Raging Bull.
Is that it? Raging
Yeah,
Bull,
yeah.
and it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
boxing film.
Boxing
Robert De Niro.
Yeah. Greatest performance ever of all time.
Is that right? Hang on, is that
Best
Robert De Niro?
acting
Yeah, of
performance.
course it is.
Yeah.
Raging Bull.
Yeah. Best performance ever laid down by any actor ever of all time.
That
Without a
was
doubt.
What would you say that's the ultimate?
That's the pinnacle.
Yeah.
That's the Sugar Ray Leonard of acting.
What about him in Casino? Because that's one of my
Good
favourite
movie,
films.
but not a better performance than Raging Bull.
See, I can't argue with the quality of the performance because you obviously know what you're talking about. Was it that special?
Extraordinary.
Really?
Yeah, extraordinary. At the time that he did that, he like revolutionized acting. Because before him, it was Brando had like reinvented the wheel.
Yeah.
And then for about 30 years, there was nothing until you get to De Niro and Raging Bull, and that's when all the Christian Bale stuff started. The massive transformations, the stopping the movie, taking 8 months off, gaining weight, losing weight. It's when it was like nobody had ever seen anything like that.
Changed the game.
Changed the game. Yeah.
Crazy. That's crazy to hear.
And it's a beautiful movie. Scorsese like on fire right there.
And it's a boxing movie.
Boxing movie. But it's also a movie about brotherhood and bond.
Yeah, of course it is.
That movie's like you and Lee, but Lee's not Pesci.
Yeah.
You wouldn't muscle Lee around like how he muscled Pesci around.
Yeah.
But the love is similar.
Yeah.
And the dysfunction is similar.
Yeah, I get that. You know what? It's amazing how you see that from spending a bit of time with me, and you've seen Lee, you've been looking at Lee, you've had a good chat with him.
But also, if you watch you guys online, you can kind of
you've done your homework.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a little bit freakish for me to know how you know that mine and my brother's relationship is, and the kind of relationship we've got.
Yeah.
And the kind of highs and lows that we've been through together.
But also because me and Lee are similar, I know what motivates that kind of behavior.
He's got an addictive personality.
Yes.
And you're similar.
Yeah, very.
And you're both sober. Right, question number 2. Who's your closest friend in Hollywood?
Bernthal. John Bernthal.
John Bernthal.
Yeah.
For those who don't know who he is.
Yeah, or Brolin or Sean or not to name drop, but I got a core group of like 5 guys that really hold me down when I'm.
Oh really?
Yeah, that really love on me. Older guys that really keep me in check. You know.
Really?
Bernthal probably the closest though.
Okay.
So he's like my closest contemporary. Toby is another one. You know.
Yeah. You've known Toby for years.
I've known
probably
Toby.
not seen him for what? 8, 9 years?
Yeah, probably 8, 9 years. But I've known him for like 12.
And he wanted you in this movie.
Yeah, that's how I found out about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he emailed me like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw the videos that the directors had made. Then I read the script. Then they told me about you, and then I showed up.
That was the icing on the cake. You found out the Cobra.
Well, I said, "Wait a minute, you mean that guy? You mean that guy who knocked that dude out at Wembley in front of 80,000? I'm there."
Yeah, you know. He knows who I am.
Yeah, see.
Shia LaBeouf knows who I am. He knows who I am. Are you familiar with David Brent from The Office?
Yeah.
I've stole a few of his lines. What annoys you the most?
In life?
Apart from me.
What annoys me the most? Thinking about myself.
Thinking about yourself?
Yeah.
So that annoys you the most?
The most.
Fair enough. Short and sweet.
Because I'm always miserable. I'm never happier thinking about myself more. The more I think about myself, the more miserable I am. And it's annoying because I can't stop.
Yeah.
You know, I just can't stop.
I feel like you say things that are negative sometimes, but you say them with a smile.
Yeah.
Like when I was sparring with you, I slipped your jab, threw a big uppercut right in the breadbasket, and you winced, and your breath went, but then you laughed. You was giggling. You got hit with a shot, and you was laughing. And you, so now you're smiling all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like you're.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I didn't know how to laugh. I didn't know how to laugh before.
So it's great to see. Have you got a hidden talent?
Hidden talent. I can wiggle my ears.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of whack.
Yeah, it's not.
I should have probably said nothing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, they'll
no
cut
rapping,
it out. They'll cut that part out.
No impressions. Well, I don't know. Cut it.
No, I'm not good at impressions.
No.
That's a different kind of acting.
Yeah,
like there's 2 different versions.
Can you rap?
I can rap.
You can do a rap. That's a hidden talent.
Yeah, I can rap a little bit.
What can you rap?
No, God, no.
What can you rap?
No, I'm not doing it. No, absolutely not. Nope.
Scratch it. On to the next.
Nope.
No hidden talents.
No.
You've got a hidden talent. What's your favourite genre of music?
Probably rap. Yeah, probably rap.
Oh, come on.
Rap.
You've got some rap in you. There's one
I
in
do.
there.
It's my upbringing.
There's a salt and pepper in this.
See, we didn't used to box. We used to battle rap. That's how we would spar.
There's a bit of Snoop Doggy Dogg in there, or a bit of Biggie Smalls.
Yeah, all that.
It's in there, isn't it?
He's
but
in
it's
there.
not coming out, is it?
Look right here. Look, that's Biggie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Christopher Wallace.
Yep.
Hang on a minute. It is Christopher Wallace.
It's Chris Wallace. Yeah, it's Christopher Wallace.
Why are you
So
laughing?
Brent.
It's Chris Wallace.
This is so fucking Brent.
It's proper Brent, isn't it? Right, let's just keep going. Where are we?
What's Brent?
David Brent. The Office.
I don't know when.
You've charmed me. Yeah?
Fill the blank.
Yeah.
The way to Shia's heart is.
Oh, my kid.
Huh?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
The kid.
Yeah.
Nice. Totally resonate with that.
Yeah.
Are you a big boxing fan?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite fighter?
Right now, probably Gervonta Davis because I'm.
Gervonta Davis?
Yeah, probably.
You know what? He's a bad boy, isn't
Yeah, it's probably that. He's electrifying.
He's from Baltimore.
I know he's not. Yeah, him, Shakur, like that whole weight
Shakur
class,
Stevenson.
that whole division.
He had quite a tight fight in his last outing.
Other than Ryan, all of those guys that they promote are fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Javante Davis had some tough upbringing. He's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
Off his
I don't
mate.
like that Ryan guy at all.
Ryan Garcia.
I hate him.
Yeah. Do you hate him?
I don't hate him. I don't hate nobody.
Did
but
he
I don't
quit
respect
against
him.
Davis with a body shot?
One, he quit, but also I heard a story about his girl got pregnant, gave birth, and then he divorced her the next day. And I thought, you got
Oh, really?
yeah, you garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because even if you feel that way, one, divorce is off the menu. But even if you feel that way, dog, wait a minute. She
Yeah.
just got out of the hospital room. You know what I mean? And then he's like tweeting about it, like a little. It just.
Yeah, that's heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what's your favourite sport?
Boxing.
Anything to do with golf?
No, I don't like
Like a bit
golf.
of golf?
No, I don't like
No?
golf. No. It'd be boxing and then football and then.
American football or
yeah,
soccer?
American football.
American football.
Yeah.
I've heard you mention American football quite
I don't remember asking
Yeah,
you a
football.
damn
American,
thing.
American football.
You like it
You're
then?
supposed to
Yeah.
laugh then, you didn't laugh. There we go. So you do like American
I
football?
love American football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Brady?
Mm.
Is
Yeah,
it
I mean,
that?
you got to respect
I
them.
can't believe them front, what are they called? Scrummers front, when they're at the front? And
Offensive line,
offensive
centers.
line. They've
Yeah.
got like a 2-year career average.
Yeah, it's
They just
hard.
get battered.
It's hard. Yeah.
I listened to a podcast
And
with
they're big.
a guy called Derek Wolf. He was on with, what's his name, Joe Rogan, and I was just listening to his life, and he broke his neck, he was
Yeah.
paralysed on the pitch,
Yeah.
taking mushrooms before he went on, so
Yeah.
like they go through some serious.
Yeah, it's
They
hard.
make big money in a short space of time,
Yeah,
but
it's
their
hard.
bodies get absolutely hammered, so you
Yeah.
got to respect that. But Tom Brady was on the back, wasn't he?
Yeah,
And
he
he
was
was
the
like,
back.
he had a long career
Yeah,
into
yeah.
his 40s. Did
Yeah.
he not?
Yeah, that's why you got to respect him. He was
Yeah.
fire for a while.
Favorite place you visited and why?
San Sebastian, Spain, because that's where my
San Sebastian.
Yeah,
in
in Spain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and my girl, we had done a movie, and then we biked from Germany down to San Sebastian, like
Yeah.
our first date.
Really?
And that's
Where,
when we
where's
fell
that?
in
Is that
love.
mainland Spain? Is that on the coast?
Yeah, it's coast.
It's coast, is
Yeah,
it?
northern part.
Oh, right,
Northern
okay. Yeah,
coast.
'cause I'm not familiar with it. I've got
It's
a place
gorgeous.
in Marbella right on the southern tip.
Yeah, Spain's awesome.
Over Andalusia, I love it.
yeah.
Let's
Same.
come out to Spain. We'll have
Yeah,
a
I'll
little,
come. I'll
we'll have a
come.
little- yeah, definitely. Come out. Me, my brother, you.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll get a couple of the
Yeah, all right.
couple of the homeboys and we'll have a good time.
Okay.
Maybe get Toby out there.
He'd love it.
We'll do that, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to Spain, we'll sort it. Biggest fear?
Biggest fear, death. I mean, biggest fear, not even. Biggest fear.
Does that worry you? Because you just said that straight away, death. That was your fear.
Because that's
Because
seems
my
like
older brother Lee,
Yeah.
That's mine.
that's all he worries about.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't used to, and then I had a kid. You know, and now.
But you've got, so you're worried about not being there for
Yeah,
your
that's
girl.
it. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
it's the
yeah,
same
just
thing.
not being able to.
But now you've found God and you're so.
Well, see, the thing I believe in, we don't believe in death. You
yeah,
know?
you're not worried about.
No,
it. So
we believe in life everlasting. But my physical body, I'd like my physical body to be here at least through my child's adulthood.
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I get that. I get
Yeah.
that. So, 12th and final round
Yeah,
question: if you could have a boxing match
yeah.
against another actor, who would it be
Oh,
and why?
boxing match against another actor, and why? Joaquin Phoenix, or
Really?
yeah, probably,
Why?
because I think he's the best.
And you want to, so you think he's the best, but you want to punch him in the face?
No, well,
It's a
I mean,
boxing match.
well, I mean, but like all the guys that you fought, a part of you respects them at a certain level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't want to fight nobody for no reason. If you're gonna go out, you got to go after the biggest. If you're gonna have to, you know. Plus, I just really respect what he does, and I love him from afar. I love him.
So
And
you
in
want to
person, I love
share?
him.
So you think that, like as
If I'm gonna have the most intimate
it's
experience,
bad to say, an intimate
yeah,
moment.
yeah, then you want to do it with the best,
in a boxing match.
for sure.
Joaquin
him.
Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix was amazing in Walk the Line. He's amazing. In
He's
loads
amazing
of
in
things.
everything.
But when he played Johnny Cash, I played a guitar.
Crazy.
I forgot a guitar.
Yeah.
No, I can get the guitar out and do the Brent there, but you know what? I
No.
should have bought the guitar.
No, it's better we don't have it.
Johnny Cash, Walk the Line.
Incredible.
What a film.
Yeah, he's everything.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
12 rounds. We're done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's it. We've done it. 12 rounds with Shia LaBeouf. How good was that? This has been another 12 rounds, but this has been a special one with a special talent. Shia LaBeouf, Hollywood superstar. Brought to you by Cobra Casino.
Cobra
I was
Casino.
waiting for you to cut in. And you
Well,
missed,
no,
you
I
missed
was
the
gonna let
kick.
you have it. I don't want to step on your toes.
Enjoyed
Sponsored
it.
by Cobra Casino.
It's sponsored by Cobra Casino, my man, my guy, Shia LaBeouf. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this wonderful channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.